I've been using the Elgato Prompter for a while now, and it's great, except for one major issue: lag. Let's say you got a script, you're reading along, and all of a sudden, halfway through, the text slows down or starts lagging. Frustrating, right? I know. It was driving me crazy. Fortunately, Elgato recently released this new feature called voicesync in their prompter software, and it's one of the best updates I've seen. I know using a prompter can be tricky, especially when the text doesn't scroll at your speed. I used to run into that issue all the time. VoiceSync solves that by syncing the script to your speech. You control the prompter, not the other way around. In this video I'll tell you how it works, walk you quickly through the setup, and share some tips on making the most out of it. Whether you're making YouTube videos, doing presentations, or just getting started with a prompter, this update is going to make your life so much easier. So let's get into it. VoiceSync basically listens to your voice in real time and adjusts the script's scrolling speed to match how fast or how slow you're talking. This means you can speak naturally without worrying about missing lines or rushing to keep up. And the best part, you can even go off script, talk about something totally unrelated, and when you're ready to get back to the script, it's still right there waiting for you. For example, I can start talking about how excited I am about this feature. And trust me, I am. And the prompter will just pause, waiting for me to pick up again. I don't have to press any buttons or stop recording. It's really seamless. Now let's talk about how easy it is to get this set up. First, you need to update your Elgato Camera Hub software to version 1.11 or later. Once you've updated, open up the prompter settings and you'll see the new VoiceSync option. All you have to do is to enable it and select the microphone you want to use for voice tracking. It's that simple. I personally used my Rode wireless ME mic connected to my camera and record straight to the computer with the Camlink 4K, so that's why I have that one selected here. But actually, you don't have to use the same mic you're recording with if your setup is different. You can even use a different mic if that's what works for you. You can adjust the settings to your preferences, like where the text appears on the screen and whether you want the highlight option turned on. It's super customizable, which I love. Let me give you a real-world example of how VoiceSync helps. Let's say you're in the middle of a video following the script, but then you remember something you want to add that's not in the script. No problem. With VoiceSync you can go off script, talk about whatever, like the weather or drink some coffee or whatever you choose. The prompter will wait until you're ready to get back to the text. And this is huge because it allows you to be flexible and keep that natural conversational tone that viewers usually appreciate. In the past, if I went off script, I'd have to scroll back or try to figure out where I was. Now I can make a joke or add a quick story, and when I'm done, I just jump back in like nothing happened. Another great use for VoiceSync is if you work with bullet points or outlines instead of full scripts. I often work this way because I like to keep things natural and conversational. But I also want to make sure I hit key points accurately, especially when I'm sharing specific details. For example, if I'm talking about specific camera settings, I want to make sure I get that right. With bullet points, you can talk through one point, wander to something else if you need to, and when you're ready, the prompter moves on to the next bullet point. It's really that flexible. You're not locked into reading a stiff script, but you can still keep things structured. And here's something pretty cool. VoiceSync isn't just for English speakers. I have tested it in 3 additional languages, and it works really well. Unfortunately, like any new software feature, there are still a few bugs here and there. Sometimes the prompter might say getting ready and then go inactive. It's happened to me a couple of times. But restarting the Camera Hub software usually fixes it. So it's not perfect yet, but the prompter is now a great tool in my workflow. Before the VoiceSync feature, my prompter used to glitch and lag, enough to make the whole process frustrating. But Elgato's VoiceSync makes a difference. It just works. It follows your voice naturally, so you don't have to think about it. You just speak and the prompter keeps up. The ability to go off script and come back seamlessly is a game changer for me. It keeps everything fluid, so I can focus on what I'm saying, not whether the prompter's keeping up. In short, if you use a teleprompter regularly, whether for YouTube videos, presentations, or anything else, VoiceSync is going to make a huge difference. It takes the stress out of reading from a script and lets you focus on delivering your message naturally. Now if you haven't already, go ahead and update your Camera Hub software, enable the voicesync and give it a try. I promise, once you get used to it, you'll never want to go back to manually controlling the speed of your prompter. And if you want to know more about my experiences with the prompter, make sure to watch this.